We're trying here.
We're like really up in your face.
Oh, there we go. Now you can move a little closer. Hi, welcome back.
Welcome back to the Intuitive Wonderland. I'm your host, Dr. Katie Williams.
I'm your host, Melody Anderson.
Mercury again.
Mercury!
We are dealing with Mercury in retrograde big
are.
time. So many things. I feel like it's still not 100%. Look at this artwork behind us.
Yes. These sweet little cuties.
Jenny, do you see that? Isn't that nice? Yeah, we're creating a little space for our
Jenny
friends'
and Jeannie.
art. Jenny and Jeannie. It's the Jenny and Jeannie window. So,
That's awesome.
Anyway, oh my gosh. Thanks for being here with us today.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah. We, where do we start?
Oh my gosh.
We've been kind of talking about what we were going to talk about today.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it feels like it's been a long time, but it was just since yesterday.
It was just since yesterday. Yeah, I brought it up to her yesterday.
And then there was a lot of energy around it and emotions, and I kind of went through a lot, and I kind of wonder if it has something to do with CERN being turned off. That
That's really interesting too.
Experiencing a lot of different feelings,
right,
and the intensity of it.
Yeah, that makes sense. There's a lot of chaotic energies out there.
The chaos of it. So why don't you tell people kind of what happened for you that got you on the topic?
Okay.
And let's go in that way.
So it was very interesting. I went to see a movie with a friend, and I don't normally go to movie theaters, and I don't normally watch movies that I feel might have some sort of a negative, I just try to stay clear of stuff. This was a children's movie, but I also have my prejudgments about some of these children's movies and shows. And so I'm with my friend, and she wanted to go see it, so I'm like, okay, I'll just go watch it. And I kind of out of curiosity, I wanted to see what presented. And
do you feel comfortable telling them which movie it is?
Yeah, Minions.
The new one.
Yeah.
Is it like the fourth one or something?
Probably. I don't even know.
I don't either, but there's been several.
Yes.
Okay. But
there's always these weird things that happen, and I've noticed in my nephew's television programs too. And I like to keep my eye out on things like that. So in the Minions movie, should I go into detail?
Well, I mean, if you want to.
Okay.
I mean, that's kind of what got you feeling like you should talk about it.
I really do feel like it's an important topic to talk about because as parents, we really need to safeguard our children and what they're putting out there. So I'll just give you an example. So the Minions were looking for a Dark Lord or somebody negative to worship and follow.
A villain.
Which I thought was really interesting anyway. Well, and every time they would like harm them in some way, unintentionally, they were, worshiping, but somehow they would cause harm. And in one of these scenarios, there's this big giant, and I hope I'm not, if someone wanted to watch this, I hope I'm not giving
there might be spoiler alerts to the new Minions movie.
Yeah, but just a small part of it, right? I'm not going to give away all of it. But so this is a children's movie, and there's this sweet little, probably 3-year-old sitting next to me watching everything that I'm watching that is triggering me. There's this little minion building these Legos made out of cement. And the giant steps on it, and it goes into his foot, and then he jumps, and he's stumbling, and then he hits his head on actually he trips and falls. But so when he falls, he's falling over backwards, and there's all these Legos stacked up like a little tower, and then boom, his butt goes on top of that tower, and then he arches and screams in pain. He jumps up again, and then he hits his head on a lamp, and his head's on fire, and then he goes running backwards and then lands on spikes up his rectum. And it's like the audience is laughing, and I'm feeling the pain of what the character is having happen to him. And I'm thinking, these are things that happen to children. They get violated. And now they're watching this programming and hearing everybody laugh. That's got to be confusing for them. if they're children that are being violated, or even the ones that aren't. Now their minds are being violated.
Or desensitized.
Yeah. It's like, okay, so they're not, yeah,
So it was really upsetting to you.
Very upsetting
to see this in the way that this image and message is being portrayed in a movie that's supposed to be for children's entertainment.
Right.
To the point where you wanted to bring awareness to this conversation.
Yes.
You also mentioned another TV show, which I don't think you told me which one it was. Maybe you couldn't think of it.
I don't know the name
video
of it.
camera one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you for bringing that up too. When I was watching a little show with my nephew, and in this little show, in this cartoon, they order a video camera, so the camera gets delivered, and then they're having fun with the video camera, and then it says, now mom and son go into a room to make a secret video. And I just thought that was a little bit
Suggestive.
It's suggestive, and it's kind of setting kids up in a way that I just think we need to be aware.
And I don't think that this is new.
No.
Like, I started after you brought it to my awareness, and I had a hard time with this.
Mm-hmm.
Like, the topic was brought up to me, and I automatically was like, oh, I don't know if I feel comfortable talking about this. And I had to sit with that and, like, go through my own process of you know, how I like to present information on the podcast. What am I trying to put into the world?
Right. Mm-hmm.
What if, you know, I worry about us focusing on things that I don't want to see in the world and us giving energy to it, and all of that happened.
Right.
In the process, I also started thinking about my own childhood experiences with Disney, in particular.
Yep.
We were a Disney family.
Yeah.
And Beauty and the Beast is my favorite Disney movie of all time. But The Little Mermaid was like me. In third grade, I got up as Ariel and did a solo singing on stage in the talent show of being Ariel. But, you know, we know about things like on the cover of The Little Mermaid, the penis that's in the castle.
They're all over the castle. I used to have the copy.
I have it. My mom had it too. And then in The Lion King, when he plops down on the cliff and the seeds go out and it spells sex in the air. And you can see these things.
Yes.
They're there. So you know that these hidden messages have been going on for a long, long time.
Yeah.
But even other cartoons, like, you watch it as an adult and you're like, ooh, that's adult humor.
Right.
Ooh, that's adult humor.
And they're not necessarily meant for adults to be watching.
They
like
throw it in there for the parents, they say.
Well,
you know, a little adult humor for the parents. They go, oh, ha, ha, ha.
Yeah.
And cartoons, I mean, they've been raunchy for a long time.
Yes. But some of them are marketed as adult
That's true.
cartoons.
And I talked to Austin about this a little bit last night to help me kind of process myself, and I wanted to know what he's my 10-year-old, his views on things were and things, and he had some interesting perspectives. He kind of leans into violent stuff, but what he brought up was, he goes, well, you know that one character with the light hair and the one with the dark hair, Beavis and Butthead.
Oh, I love Beavis and Butthead.
It's been advertised. It's like new on Netflix or something.
Man.
I don't know. But anyway, he brought it up and I go, well, that's not a show for you.
Right.
That's an adult cartoon.
Right.
And he goes, what are you talking about? Cartoons are for kids. And I go, I can get where that's confusing.
Yeah.
And that's how a lot of times they draw kids in.
Right.
Because it's a cartoon.
Yes.
King of the Hill. That's not a kid cartoon.
No, it's not.
You know, those things, The Simpsons.
Yeah.
Those are adult cartoons.
Yes, they are.
But I think that a lot of ways what they do is they try to create something that gives messages to the kids, but that the parents also want to watch.
Right.
So you're watching it as a family.
Right.
Which gives the message of, this is okay.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, and some of that stuff in there was just not, like there was a lot more to the Minions that I was kind of not impressed by. But I had that cute little boy there to entertain me. He was just so sweet. It was just the sweetest little, I would say he was about 3, and he would nudge me and he would ask me my name, and then he kept nudging me and asking me if the characters on the TV show were going to kiss. He kept asking me that. Are they going to kiss? I said, I don't know. And then he would say, are we family? And I said, yes, we're family. And then he said, I love you. I said, I love you too. And then he said, my grandma died. I mean, all of this is going on. It's so loud in there. I don't know how many people around us could hear it. He said, my grandma died. And I said, I am so sorry. And then he said, could I call you grandma? And I said, you sure can. And he climbs up on my lap and just hugs me. It was just the sweetest
Oh my gosh,
encounter.
you know what just hit me, Mel?
What?
If Brandon were to still be alive,
Mm-hmm.
it's possible that you would have a grandson that age.
Exactly.
Like, that was you getting to experience that.
Yes, absolutely. And I get that through my great nephews too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. You're absolutely right. It was very precious, very, very special. Anytime a child wants to call me grandma, they're welcome to.
Yeah. So nice.
Yeah, I have all this grandma energy, and I think that that's partly why when I'm in a situation like the movies and I'm seeing something that I wouldn't want my child to have to see at that age, just because, also because it triggers me. But, you know, like if you're at the park, and we were talking about the law of attraction, right? Mm-hmm. If you're at the park and you see someone lurking on the children, I'm not going to sit and project positive energy to it. I'm going to inform everybody in the park. There's sometimes we have to stand up and say something, and sometimes we can sit back and pray or meditate or focus positive energy on things. But there's a time for all things.
That's kind of what we got into this kind of discussion around, because we were looking at information putting out on the podcast a little differently.
Mm-hmm.
One of the things, so I've been to 2 Abraham seminars, and every time you go, you get a question answered. You come with a question, even if you don't get called up into the hot seat, your question gets answered. I can't remember if it was the first one or the second one, but I went with a question about parenting.
Mm-hmm.
And a man went up on stage and he talked about this feeling of not feeling like he can go do his own thing because he feels like he has to be supervising his children.
Okay.
So like, he was like, I can't just leave my kids to play in the yard and I'm going to go, lift some weights or whatever while they're occupied and doing their thing, because I feel like I need to be there and watching them and protecting them and keeping them safe.
Mm-hmm.
And Abraham said, here's the thing. If you're tuned in to your inner being, your higher perspective, you would get an overwhelming impulse to run to them.
Right.
Even if you're away.
Mm-hmm.
If something harmful was going to happen,
right,
it would be automatic. You would feel like, I got to go.
Yep.
And you would go.
Yes.
But that feeling of worry and not going away to do the things you want to do because you feel like you have to sit there and protect them, that's keeping you out of alignment with who you really are.
Right.
Because now you're denying yourself something that's good for you.
Right.
And so it was the energetic aspect of do the things that make you feel good.
Right.
And trust if something's going to happen and you can intervene, your inner being will lead you to go do it.
Right. Mm-hmm. And I've had that experience too.
Mm-hmm.
I have. That's an excellent observation. I was sharing with you the story of my friend that anytime I was in his presence, I felt good. And he would say, oh, I'm just a positive person. I'm always happy.
Mm-hmm.
And how he had to, whenever he had to remove asbestos, he didn't say anything. He would just cover his nose with or whatever and just paint. And he didn't try to protect himself. I don't even think he said he covered his nose.
Yeah.
I don't know. But he is still a very healthy person.
Yeah.
And he's been exposed to a lot of stuff, but he is a very positive person.
Well, that's the way that Jesus went around sick people and, of course, never got sick because he believed so much in what he knew was true about wellness that you only had to be around him to become the wellness.
Right. Bingo.
So if you can be the very thing, you don't have to worry about it affecting you.
Right. And if you're walking near a light shining, it's bright already. The closer you get to the light, the brighter it is. So yeah, that is absolutely true. I also think, because when we were talking earlier, you said something about, if you're always in these positive mindsets, you don't come across a snare. Well, sometimes things still happen, like life happens. And, like, let me give you an example. I'm driving my car, catastrophic engine timing chain destroys the engine, and I have 6 more car payments left, and I just bought brand new tires for the car. And I called my friend, and she came and picked me up, and then we called another friend that was going to help me, and she said, I cannot believe you're not freaking out. That's your only car. Mm-hmm. And I said, freaking out doesn't help a thing. I know I'm going to be taken care of. I know everything's okay.
Yeah.
And her sister loaned me a car for a week, and then my brother gave me a car.
Wow.
But had I been operating in this
yes.
high stress, sometimes things are just going to happen.
Yeah.
And it's all in how we handle it.
Yeah.
That is part of the law of attraction.
So what had happened was, we're going back and forth talking about this, because I was thinking like, well, I don't want to put information out there that's about children not being taken care of and all these
right.
negative things,
mm-hmm.
because then I feel like I'm behind it and I'm promoting it by giving the information to all of you.
Mm-hmm.
And Mel sent me a text and she goes, well, no, you're just informing. Mm-hmm. If there's a snare, you're letting somebody know there's a snare there.
Right.
And I said, well, where I stand, if you're focusing on all the things you appreciate, you never come in contact with the snare. But then my visual went to, sometimes contrast happens.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Contrast has to happen in order for you to grow in what you want.
Right.
Let's say I'm doing that. I'm walking through life and I am nothing but appreciation and unicorns and rainbows and everything is beautiful. And all of a sudden I trip. And
mm-hmm.
then I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, I've been so positive.
But as I fall to the ground, I see my earring that I lost.
There you go. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it was the snare or the tripwire or whatever that allowed me to find it.
Yes, exactly.
So that's still finding the appreciation or positivity
mm-hmm.
in something that seems like it's negative.
Right.
And I think that was the important thing to me about
right.
the podcast.
Yes.
Like, it's not that we have to avoid the conversations. It's that what I want to focus on more than the negative aspect is what's positive about it.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. I agree with that wholeheartedly.
Yeah.
And if, in my opinion of what is positive in this, some parents listen to this and say, you know what? I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah.
But I'm going to look into this. And maybe they choose not to, or they feel informed and okay with it. And either is fine.
Yeah.
Either's fine.
The information being laid out and you looking at it and going, I don't like that. Mm-hmm. I don't want that in the world. Mm-hmm. That allows for desire of the opposite to be mm-hmm. created. The trick is to then change your focus from that thing that yes. you don't want to the solution.
Yes.
Because
put
then
your
you're
energy
creating
into the solution. Yes.
more of what you want to see.
Yeah.
Even though you're aware of this, you have to switch the focus.
Yes. I think that they've proven that the war on anything doesn't work.
Exactly.
We've just seen that over and over and over and over and over.
Was it Mother Teresa that said, don't ever invite me to a, what's it called? When you go against something.
Oh, a rally. Or where they're picketing.
A protest. Never invite me to a protest against war. But feel free to invite me to a rally on peace.
There you go. Mm-hmm.
Because it's about what you're promoting.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's the positive focus. I mean, you get a whole bunch of people together that hate something, right. You're promoting hate.
Yeah.
You get a bunch of people together that love something, you're promoting love.
That's right. I love Mother Teresa. Her "Do It Anyway" quote was my all-time favorite.
What's the "Do It Anyway"?
How does it go? If you are kind, people will think that you have an ulterior motive. Be kind anyway. If you are loving, or if you are generous, people will think that you are this. Be generous anyway. Mm-hmm. If you this, and she goes all down the list of all these things that if you do them, someone's going to find fault with you no matter what. Do it anyway. And then at the end she says, because in the end, it was between you and God anyway.
Love that.
I do too. I cry every time I even think about it.
It kind of aligns with the let them theory.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
If they want to do something, let them.
Yeah.
Let them do it.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Try not to let it affect you.
Yeah, I encourage everybody to look up the "Do It Anyway" quote.
Yeah,
oh my gosh. And there are several versions of it, but one of my friends bought it for me. I had it on my wall forever. I think it ended up getting broken in a move or something, but it was a prized possession of mine.
The quote was?
Yeah, I love it.
Oh.
Well, I just love a lot of Mother Teresa's quotes because she could, on a dime, say something that you're like, what?
She's a great example of religion done well.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, she was devout.
Yeah.
But she didn't take it to a place of, I'm judging you and you need to be like this.
That's right.
It was a place of love and acceptance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I watched a film on her, and I hope I'm getting this right, but she, there was this apartment building or somewhere where she and the nuns would go and check on these people every day, and then a gang took over the apartment building. So she went in there, she went knocking on the door, and they weren't going to let her in. And the kind of leader guy said, I have business here. And she said, well, I also have business here. And then she later, they let them in, and they did their rounds in the apartment building, and on their way out or something like that, she walked up to them and said, there is a feeding program across the street, and you guys are all welcome. Mm. And then she also encouraged her nuns to do the same thing. Always invite them. These are, God's people are everybody. And that's what I love about the people that stand out in different traditions around the world, is in being inclusive. Mm-hmm. The second you separate and make people feel, it makes people feel unloved. Because me being able to hear your side is me expressing my love to you, which is exactly what you did for me today. Yeah. And I so appreciate that, because it's a painful topic. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and I think it's really beautiful the way, like, I feel like we have a unique way of doing that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. The way that we come together with our personalities. And I think sometimes it gets lost in translation when we're talking on our phones. Right. But when it's just us together, like, it's easier to feel. Mm-hmm. Like, I know we're together.
Absolutely. You have the same goal in mind.
Yeah. And I know our hearts. And I think that's the part that really kind of seals it for me. Yeah. Even if we do see differently on things, I think it's important to share it.
Absolutely.
And to see the way we still come together. Right. Even if we see something differently.
Right. Well, we're not going to see everything exactly the same if we're from a different angle. Yeah. I'm seeing a view of this, you're seeing a view of that, but we're seeing the same thing.
Exactly.
Yep. Absolutely.
So, what do you guys think? What's your take on that? How do you promote goodness in the world?
Yeah. So, absolutely.
Give us a comment or shoot us an email at hosts@drwilliamspodcast.com. We would love to hear from you guys. Yes. And thanks for being here and having this conversation with us.
And if there are any topics you guys are interested in that you'd like for us to talk about and elaborate on our own feelings and how we deal with things, please, we would love to hear it.
Yeah, absolutely. All right.
All right. Peace out.
See you next Tuesday.
See you next Tuesday.
Bye, y'all.